You're building a business, growing your income, and destroying the one thing that makes all of that possible, and that's your health. You wouldn't let your bank account hit zero, right? But you're totally fine letting your body, your energy, and your discipline getting drained every single day. But here's the truth. You could never buy back time, neither your health. One day or another, you're going to pay the consequences of those days where you have ignored your body when it was begging for attention. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the best, most practical tips that you could start using right now and hopefully change the way you see health, not as an afterthought, but as the foundations of everything that you're going to build. These are the same principles that I have used to change the life of almost 40 people, businessmen, professional business owners, managers, to basically regain self-confidence and take full control of their health without sacrificing any of their current work. All right, let's get straight to it. Health is your performance multiplier. And guys, better energy equals better decisions. I do not know one person that told me that, oh, I have 3 days without sleeping because I was working on my business, or I spent 3 days doing this, no sleeping, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. Brother, stop. Because you're not gonna go far like that. For the simple reason is that your brain is not gonna be functioning properly. And when your brain doesn't function properly, it would automatically affect the rest of your day, the rest of your performance at the gym, the way you are dealing with people because you get easily irritated, and also in your decision making, especially when you're running a business, because you're not going to pay attention to the details, or also when you are negotiating a new deal. When your body is optimized, your brain is going to perform to a higher level for faster and better decision making. And it's also very crucial if you are in a business that you will need to negotiate high tickets and making big bucks money. So really start emphasizing more on the idea of how sleep is also important. The sub point over here is going to be strong body, strong presence. What I mean about it is that the way you conduct, the way you carry yourself among others, when you are fit, focused, and energized, people feel it. In the meetings, in the social circles, in the relationship, they feel it, because this is 90% of what you're going to say has been said already through your behaviors, because action speaks louder than words. Your behavior have already given the information. And this is what they say. It's not me, this is science itself. Most of the conversation is 90% non-verbal and the rest 10% is verbal. So it does play a major factor, and also the sleeping does affect it when you are entering a room, when you are full of energy compared to when you are entering a room with low energy. People see it and people could also feel it. And trust me, if you're in a leadership position, you're showing a very bad example, because people like to be surrounded with people that uplift them. They dress well, they take care of themselves, they run a good business, and so on. And if you aren't doing none of that, trust me, you're not going to go far in this journey. You need to stop prioritizing yourself and the way you behave, the way you conduct yourself. And guess what? The sleeping does affect all of it as well. The resilience starts physically. A strong nervous system trained through fitness make you more resilient to stress, pressure, and fatigue. And most importantly, the emotional control. What I mean about it is that every single sport has something to teach you. For example, when I am boxing in the ring and I'm fighting this guy, let's say in the 4th, 5th round, I all the time have that voice in the back of my head telling me, Azer, you should give up. Azer, you should give it. What are you doing all of this for? And on the other side of my head, like, Azer, you need to keep pushing forward. You need to keep moving forward. Keep fighting. No matter how hard it gets, you gotta keep moving forward. So this is a type of thoughts that I have in my mind when I am boxing or when I am training heavyweights in the gym. Azer, why you are lifting all these heavyweights? It's not very necessary. So this self-talk, this self-conversation that you have from within yourself is actually going to be very, very hard to deal with if you are not having a physical activity. Because every single time you're going to feel pressure, you're going to give up. And that automatically translates to your words, to your action, to your business. That means if you're going to be facing a business or an obstacle in your business, the first thing that comes to your mind, sell everything. I'm done with this shit. And this is why I highly recommend to people to really train, because it would automatically translate to all of the things that you are doing in your life, business, relationship, social club, everything, because you're really working on that little tiger that you have sleeping. Some people might have a little cat, meow, but that needs to become a tiger. That needs to become a tiger, because you need to have that mentality, that mindset to go out there, that nothing can stop you, that you are there to conquer the world. And this mentality doesn't come like that. This is a mentality that comes with work, discipline, resilience, and it's all linked to each other to give you the final product, for you to be able to run those businesses, for you to be able to make those decisions. And that's how it is important for you to do a physical activity, especially for a man, because you have a lot of testosterone. And on the old ages, we used to be hunter-gatherers. We used to go and hunt for our food and all that. But in today's, we can just order food and it's already arriving. But we need that instant. We need to work on that instant for us to be able to make the better decisions for our businesses and for our life. And if you don't have that line in you, you need to start working into getting it out if it's been sleeping for too long. That's why your nervous system needs to be trained. And above all of that, it really helps you to gain emotional control all over your life. When your girlfriend annoys you when she's on her peers, or your boyfriend, or I don't know, and you get easily irritated because they've done something, or I don't know, for something in the kitchen, this is a weak person. Somebody that is not able to control his emotion no matter what circumstances they're going to go through. If your child is annoying you and doing something stupid and you start screaming at them and yelling at them to stop because Mr. is having a lack of sleep, or Mr. had a bad day, and you're not able to control your emotion, trust me, you're going to end up being very lonely by the end of the day, or probably they will leave you as well. So that's why, guys, resilience starts physically. Whatever that is physical would automatically translate to what is mental. And the second point that I want you to keep in mind always is that you do not need more time. You need a proper system. Time blocking works. What I mean about it is that when you, first of all, in the beginning of the week, decide to go through your assistant and decide to put meetings. Okay, I have a meeting with B here, or I have to go and pick up my girls, or I have to go and pick up the food, or I have to go and pick up this. What I want you to start including in your calendar from your phone is the workout one. Because everything that you're going to put down on that calendar, you're going to do it. And once you put it down on that calendar, so you wake up every morning and say, okay, what do I have to do today? You're going to see the workout part. And when you see that, you're obliged to go. And this is why a lot of us go through a lot of stress in our business life and also in our real life. So that's very important to really start prioritizing ourselves. And that's why I say go and train in the morning. Because the better you're going to take care of yourself, the better you're going to be able to take care of everybody around you, including your family and your business. You're going to be able to provide them the best version of yourself. What I mean about it is that having a structure is not going to be a 6 weeks program where you're going to train every day and so on, and then you're going to get burned out by the end of the day. What matters is the consistency and the discipline. You're not training for any marathon or not yet, or any boxing match or any competition. You are training to be able to take care of yourself the longest and live the longest in this life. If it's not scheduled in your week plan, it's not going to happen. It becomes a non-negotiable asset once you put it in your calendar. The other point is, train smart and not long. And this is what I see a lot of the business people when they go to the gym They're on their phone. They're still talking on the phone, answering messages on the phone. I'm saying, oh, I have a meeting here. Take it in the middle of their workout, brother. I don't want you to go to the gym and be in the gym for 3 hours. You have 45 minutes in a day where you do not touch that phone for the simple reason because it's your me time. This is your time to be able to, for you to take care of yourself. Therefore, you need zero distraction from whatsoever during those 45 minutes. And I'm not saying this on a daily basis. I'm saying there's maybe 3 to 4 times a week. So I'm pretty sure you can squeeze in 3 to 4 times 45 minutes, let's say an hour a week, for you to be able to take care of yourself. A structured program, and you need a structured program. You don't need 90 minutes, but a decent 1 hour. Just focused on high quality training. You don't have time to go and chit chat in the gym because you're making money. You're running a business. You have a family to take care of. So make it fast, but focus on quality. That's why I always say train smart, not long. The point number 3, and I think a lot of people are going to be angry with this one, is basically the sub point, is simplify nutrients. There's no such thing as perfect diet, guys. There's no such thing. Don't talk to me about keto diet, what is the other one? Pescatarian diet, vegan, vegetarian. Habibi, we're tired of that. What we need right now is something that is very productive. As a businessman, as a person that is looking to increase their income and increase in their business and their cash flow, the most important thing that we seek on a daily basis is productivity. How can we maximize our productivity? And for me, it all starts with one simple thing, and it is your food. And a lot of people, they wake up in the morning, they eat food, they have their breakfast, they have their lunch, they have their dinner. They're constantly digesting their food. And for me, it's very important to emphasize on the point of the fasting, because fasting has been the game changer in all of these transformations that I have dealt with. For the simple reason is that you don't waste your energy digesting food, you waste your energy making more money. You waste your energy to be something much more productive. And the only time that you need to eat is definitely at the end of the day, or probably twice a day, so maybe a little bit earlier. And also make sure to always drink water during the day. And also you're allowed to drink coffee as well, as I am drinking right now. That's how actually I get all of my energy. Water and coffee. And only once I get home at 7 p.m., like most of the people that I have coached as well, if they train in the morning, they can eat around 2 p.m. If they train in the afternoon, they can actually fast until they have their workout and then eat. Why we do the fasting? Because when you are fasting, you're switching your metabolism to start using your fat as a source of energy instead of the food that you have in your stomach. And guess what? You're not going to fart as well in your trainings. You're going to feel very heavy because you have nothing in your stomach. And your body is basically at rest and your stomach is at rest. And actually, when you're fasting, your stomach becomes small as well. And that's what I call the big trick for a high productive routine that you could use right now, starting from today. The fasting thing. Keep it simple. You eat shit, you're gonna feel like shit. Everything that looks good tastes good. So make sure you always eat high quality food, bio food, and most importantly, avoid processed food. I'm not saying forever, but I'm saying at least 5 times a week you're focused fully on the diet and you have 2 cheat days meals where you can have something, a snack, because we're looking about balance. So when it's Monday, it's time to work, Habibi. It's time to work on your business. It's time to work on yourself. It's time to work on your family. It's time to work on everything that you have to do. On the weekends, Habibi, have a little time off. Enjoy your time with your family. Have a little nice meal, a glass of wine if you want, a piece of chocolate. Longevity is leverage, and it starts now. I always keep hearing every single time people telling me, especially the old one, oh, it's too late for me in a different life. If it's not now, then it's never. It's never. And you need to understand something very clear here. The more you wait, the harder it gets, because your metabolism, when it starts taking age, it slows down. And that's why it is very hard to lose weight when you are at a certain age, but it is not impossible. And that's the reason why I want you to keep in mind that working out is not only for the way you look, because when sometimes a lot of the people, they look good, but on the inside, their organs are having a complete shit show. And that's why I'm highly recommended to always work lifting weight, especially when you are gaining in age and getting older. The more you lift weight, the better it is for your joints. And the most important muscle, for example, to train when you get older is your legs, because 70 to 80% of the people that have an injury at the age of 50 and above or 60 are not going to heal better. They're not going to heal better. And the probability and the percentage of the people that actually dies after having, for example, a hip replacement are actually within the next 2 years. And we're talking about a decent 50 to 60% over here. And this is a statistic that you can actually check. Old people, once they have a surgery because of an accident, usually last 2 or 3 years afterwards, and then they die. And guess what? It really happened with my mother too. She had an issue with her hip, and unfortunately it led to her being paralyzed and not being able to use well. She had the Alzheimer's disease, unfortunately too, so it was just a cherry on top of the cake. The sub point that I want to talk about today is also you're investing in years and not just looks. What I mean about that is that it's not about how many years you have lived, but it's more about how well did you live those years. You can tell me I had like 50 years of eating very good food and training. That's a completely different scenario if you have been eating shit food for the past 30 years and then start working out only afterward at the age of 30. Currently, right now, I am coaching somebody that is 17 years old, 70, that's been doing only acrobatic, like tennis playing, jumping, and all the gymnast stuff, but never been to the gym. And it's his first time at the age of 70. And God bless, mashallah, we have to touch wood to prevent him from any sorts of injuries. But this is a sort of example and sort of people that I am working with right now. And what I mean about what is good is a financial success when you're exhausted. What's the point of making money? By the end of the day, you're going to spend that money to take it to the hospitals. It's like, think about it this way. Like, slow down a little bit over here and try to listen to me. All the hard work that you are putting in right now to grow your business and neglecting your health, you're going to pay the consequences of it. In other words, what's the point of making millions of dollars and money for you not to being able to enjoy them? I have met so many people at the age of 50 and above that unfortunately they look like a bag of potato, but if you open their bank account, $11 million, $17 million, $8 million, and most of them have a lot of money. And I was like, but what are you doing now? What are you doing? How many times you go to the hospital? How many medication you're having? How many pills you're taking on a daily basis? Oh, I have an issue with blood pressure. I have an issue with my diabetes. I have an issues with my ears, my nose, my breathing. And what can I tell you? It was in your hand and you chose not to. I'll give you a good example. Is somebody that I've been coaching for quite a while. American guy, made loads of money in capital investments and then building his real estate empire. I looked at him on our first session. I was like, all right, brother, we gotta jump. He's like, what do you mean jump? I was like, I want you to jump on these stairs. He's like, I don't remember the last time I jumped, probably when I was 12 years old. I was like, what can I tell you, man? You can't jump a box. He looked at me, he's like, I'm afraid, Azer. I was like, what are you afraid of? I was like, are you afraid of falling? He said, yes. And I was like, pull up your bank account. Show me how much money you have in your bank account. He pulled it up. That was $11 million. And he was like, I was like, you made $11 million with all the risk that you have made, that you have taken, all the obstacles that you have overcome, and you are afraid of jumping on a step box. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame that you let yourself down for all of those years building this wealth and all that for you not to being able to jump on a stairs or a box? You should be ashamed of yourself. And I was really talking to him with a very language, with no filters, using the F word. And he was like, "You're the first guy that I speak to who I let him speak to me the way you're speaking to me." And I was like, "Well, probably because you're not surrounded with honest people." But I gotta tell you the truth, and this is the truth. Everything that you're gonna be investing in your health is never a loss. All the time that you're gonna be spending in the gym is never a loss. Think about it. Think about your family. Think about the impact that in your surroundings, in your family. You're gonna be able to provide them the best version of yourself, to be able to live longer, to see your daughter's graduation, to see your business growing and somebody taking over your business, or maybe your children. But if you don't, you might actually become a burden to your family. You're gonna actually become somebody that's causing issues to the others. If right now, by God forbid, you have an accident. If you have right now an accident, who is going to take care of you? And I hope you have a very close family and very strong family, because most of them, they send them to the retirement houses and they leave them there. Their own children. Oh my God, the world is changing. What can we do? We could prevent it. We could prevent it by, first of all, educating all children, because that's very, very important. But also preventing it by taking care of ourselves, by going to the gym and having a physical activity. I don't have time. You don't have time for your health? That's something you got to keep in mind. The sub point that I wanted to talk about it right here is healthy men have more options. More energy equals more life, more presence with your families, more confidence in the room, and more power in your brand, because health expands your freedom. Because it will have a positive impact not only within your circle. What I mean within the circle, I'm talking about brothers, family, your daughters, your children, your son, wife, and so on. You're going to be able to live longer, to have activities with them, to go play, go jump, go do any sort of sports, instead of letting them go and sit down on their phones. But having that time, because you have more energy. So that's already going to increase as well. You're going to increase your time to be with your family, to provide them the best father figure that you can give to them. But if you don't have none of the points that I have mentioned so far, it's going to be very hard, because a children pays attention to their parents and they copy their behavior. They copy their behavior and they will replicate exactly what their parents are doing. So that's why it is important that actions speaks louder than words, especially within a family circle. And obviously, the other benefit point it is going to bring is money. And it's going to bring you more opportunities, and it's going to bring you more networking, because people like to hang out with people that lift them up. People like to hang out with people that add to their life, that make their life better. Not only to go and hang out in the bars, but let's go hang out in having a physical activity. That's going to improve a lot of it. And people will see you differently. The way you bring yourself and you conduct yourself around the table with having a proper posture, proper back, good health. The way you take care of yourself is basically the way you take care of your business. If you're not able to take care of yourself, what are you going to go and take care of? And that's probably why most of the relationships are not successful, for the simple reason is that they don't take care of themselves and they blame each other for all their own insecurities. I'm like, come on, man, give me a break over here. Let's have a real talk over here. And that's what we've been talking real talk for the past 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But this is the truth, and this is the sad reality. We need to lead by example and show the right example to our young ones. And I really hope that you guys have benefited from this video, that you have learned something new. I don't want you to just learn it. I want you right now is to apply it in your life. Guess right, guys, that's it for today. And I really hope you enjoyed it once again. And I'll see you guys soon, all right? Go kick some ass.